Hi, my name is Sean Robinson. I went from not knowing anything at all about religion or spirituality to eventually getting my master's in biblical studies about 7 years later. I went through my own spiritual path, but I believe that everyone has their own spiritual journey, whether it's organized religion, spirituality, or transcendental philosophy. So throughout my speech, I'm going to inform you guys about my own path from not knowing anything at all to eventually getting my master's in biblical studies and some of the topics that interested me the most. So my journey started at Pope John 23rd High School. It was required that all students take theology there, and theology very quickly became one of my favorite subjects. I knew nothing about it starting school, and eventually I became so interested in the Catholic Church by the end of it that I became Catholic and was baptized in 2011. Some important teachings of the Catholic Church include Jesus as the founder of the Church, such as in Catechism of the Catholic Church, section 3, which says that the treasures of the gospel are guarded by the apostles and successors to this day, and members of the church have the duty to hand it on. And also apostolic succession, where Dei Verbum 8, section 1, states that the apostolic preaching contained in the Bible is passed down to the end of time among the bishops, the priests, and the faithful itself. It can all be traced back to the apostles and to Jesus. So eventually, I studied theology at the University of Dallas. I got my BA in theology and concentration in classics, and my study of theology was quite broad. I studied exegesis, biblical theology, systematic theology, moral theology, all different types of theological disciplines offered by the university. I also had a concentration in classics, which interested me greatly, which mostly consisted of studying ancient Greek and Latin, the languages, and the philology. These two languages, I felt, brought me closer to the church, since the church considers them two of the three sacred languages in addition to Hebrew. But what caught my interest the most was biblical studies. I took as many exegesis classes as possible. I continued taking Greek courses, and I even took introductory biblical Hebrew, which is very unusual for an undergraduate to do. Eventually, I went to Catholic University of America in DC to earn my master's in biblical studies. Now, graduate school was a lot more difficult, but I felt like I was at the center of America, being in DC, and the center of the Catholic Church in America, since the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops is located in Washington, DC. Most of what I studied in graduate school was biblical languages. Most of my time was spent translating ancient texts, critically evaluating these texts in their manuscripts. So this, for example, is the beginning of Joshua. One topic that interested me very greatly was the divine council and the narrowing of the Israelite pantheon to just monotheism. So this picture shows an Iron Age depiction of Yahweh, the God of Israel, and Asherah, a pagan Canaanite deity. Another example is in Psalm 81, 1 through 2, which states that God has taken his place in the divine council. In the midst of the gods, he passed judgment, which shows that the Israelites in the age of the Psalms viewed Yahweh as the chief God, as seen here sitting on a throne with a goddess there. Now, reflecting on my past, I made a big jump from not knowing anything about theology at all to gaining my master's. And again, not everyone will have the same journey as I did, but I believe that it's important that everyone reflect on their own ideas of religion, spirituality, and transcendental philosophy. Because reflecting on our past and present helps us move on to our future. For me personally, I'm not going to work as a theologian or work in the church. At least I'm not planning to. But what's important is that we all keep what's true to us and keep moving forward with our lives, keeping our values within our minds. So to conclude, I'd like to take this bit from St. Paul's letter to the Philippians 3:16. Plenes ho ephasamen to autostoiken. Only let us hold on to what we have attained. I've done quite a bit in my time in theology, and I definitely want to hold on to it in my future, even if it's not directly what I'm doing in my career. Thank you.